flights. What you're looking at here is, I think some of you may have already seen it. It's the opening page of your on Music Appreciation web text at c4elink.org. So you'll be able to access this after you have purchased the web text and also registered through with your access code. So I just want to mention a few things to start out. Uh, this is pretty self-explanatory, but it wouldn't hurt to go over it with you real quick. The first thing you really should go to, oh, by the way, if you look over here, it says instructor announcements. All of this, any instructor announcements, I will put on the portal or through email, so usually you will not see anything over there. But the first thing that you should do is go over here to Getting Started. Click on that and read Course Preamble. Gives you a lot of information that, just kind of prerequisite info on the course. Describes the course here, the course format. Grading. This is kind of important. We have 35 assessments, which are short quizzes, and they account for 37% of the grade. So kind of dividing that, or you can figure that each one of them is about 1% of the grade. So if for some reason you end up not doing one or two of them at the end of the semester, it probably won't hurt you too much, but you don't want to end up not doing 10 or 15 of those, because that will hurt you. The 5 assignments are pretty hefty, each totaling 17% of the grade. Now the big ones are these. The midterm and the final are each worth 23% of the grade. To do well on those, you need to do the assessments, because the questions that you get in the midterm and the final come from the assessments. My grading scale is this. I've already posted that. This is important, academic dishonesty. Please read that. Also, technical support info is right here. You can email me, but typically I will just steer you into this direction. So you'll go to the student support website. Hopefully you won't have any issues with that. So that's the course preamble. Let's see what we can look at next. Sorry. I'm just going to go back to that initial page. And then you have the system check and computer setup. Most computers, this should work fine. You'll click on here just to make sure you hear music there, and hopefully you will, because you need to do this course. But rarely have I had any student with a computer that didn't work well with the course. Here, I'm not going to click on it, but it's the OnMusic Appreciation course description guide. It goes into detail about the entire course you're about to take. Here is a list of what is called Discover Music. And what's on this list is all of the music you have access to in this course, which is pretty awesome. I mean, here we're starting, this is just the letter A. Contemporary composer John Adams, several pieces, a lot of anonymous pieces. Probably these are from the Renaissance and the medieval period and prior. And look at all this music by Johann Sebastian Bach. I mean, it's a ton of it. And then Bela Bartok and Beethoven, a ton of Beethoven. So with this course comes all of this free music. Well, you did have to pay for it, so hey. But it's still pretty cool. We can click on that button. That'll take us back to the course description guide. But what I want to do is go back here. Let's go back to page 1. So look over that pretty carefully. That getting started to get yourself prepped for the course. Then you will go to Basic Musical Concepts and read that. It's very short. Tells you a little bit about what you are going to be learning about in the very next chapter. You can click on this page, this right arrow button, which will take you to the next page, but I just want to show it to you from from the home page. So that would, if I had clicked on that right arrow button on the previous page, it would have taken me to the very first chapter, the very first class, and that's unity and variety. And this is what I need you to work on. There's so many awesome things about this course, but one of them is if you're laying in bed and you don't feel like reading, you can just click on Listen to Lecture, and the course, you will hear all of this read to you. Isn't that awesome? And here I'm clicking on Discover Music. There's some extra pieces of music that you can listen to. A couple of very famous pieces, Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring and the Hallelujah Chorus. Here we have outlines and objectives. This is pretty cool too. Test yourself. So before you take the quiz, you can test yourself right there. Notice how on this page there are some words that are highlighted in blue. These are the keywords. If you click on that, you'll see all of those keywords. And it would not hurt before your quiz to kind of review those, to make sure you know what each of those words mean. There's some also pretty cool videos which you have at your disposal. Here's See the Conquering Hero Comes, a YouTube video of it. Then we could click on the organ version of it. And then this is I believe, a synthesized version of some sort. There's just a ton of videos that you have at your disposal there, which really, as you can see, makes this course pretty awesome. So what you need to do is read this Unity and Variety section. Read it very carefully. And then you're going to listen to each of these ideas very carefully. And follow the directions very carefully. And then I'm not going to give you the answers to this, but if you read this carefully and you listen to the examples very carefully, you will do well. Let's click to the next page. You have a quiz here. It's called the Unity and Variety Assessment. It's a very short quiz. I'll let you do that on your own. I'm not going to do it for you right now. But then after that, I'm going to click ahead. And what you have is your first assignment. There's 5 assignments in this course. It's called Identifying Musical Ideas. So we're going back. We've already done a little bit of work on unity and variety and the different ideas of a piece. You're going to listen to these ideas carefully. You're going to watch this video carefully. And you're going to read these instructions very carefully. Let me see if I can explain it. The piece is only 1.5 minutes long, and you have to identify the ideas that you hear in the piece. I'm not going to read this all to you, but I just need you to do this. When you are doing your work, answer every question. One of the things that students forget to do is they forget to answer all the questions. So read all of the questions, answer them, and as it says here, once you have, there's comment, it should be comment box. If we go to, so this is my, I'm the teacher, so I have view all grades and submissions. So I'm not able to submit anything, but you will be able to write down your answers over here and submit them for grading, and I will grade those. Anyways, I can explain this more if you need me to, but if you read this very carefully, if you spend time going through the previous pages very carefully, not this one, but the one before it, Unity and Variety. If you read this very carefully, this will really prep you for that assignment. Don't just jump into doing the assignment. It takes a little time. It's not super hard if you spend time with it. Basically, you have to hear sections of music and be able to identify sections of music. That's basically it. So, anyways, this gets you started. Um, I'm going to click on home. That's the home page. If you click over here, oops, sorry, I went too far. That's the dashboard. I don't need that. Um, so if you can get at least class one and through the standard assignment, that would count for completing 10%, completing work within the first 10% of the course. Remember, I posted or sent an email out about getting work done within the first 10% of the course. So if you can at least get started, get through, do the assessment and the standard assignment one, that'll get you going this first week. So hopefully that helps. We'll talk to you soon.